the days that fly by when you're not looking. Don't wanna waste it on all your nights spent alone again. We are different, stuck in a small town, haven't left just yet. Got bigger dreams running through our heads, running through our heads. Oh, we hear the rumbling of the road, a new song playing far from home. We come together to answer the call. We play it loud, or we play nothing at all. We carry the heat of the summer.
Little Jax's new sweater. Exercise my right to bear arms. He's got a little arrow going to each arm. I think it's so cute. Okay, today I am going to show you my home on wheels. This is my 2007 Ford Econoline 250, and this is my home on wheels right here. So today I'm just going to show you a little bit about what I've done with my van. I'm going to show you some of the things that I have modified on the inside. I know that there are a lot of you that are looking at this right now and say, well, this is not a cooking video. Okay, how come this is on the channel? Well, that's because I want my channel to be about health and all things about health. And in this particular case, why not make every day a holiday and get out and enjoy the world in life and enjoy life for what it really is meant to be for you. Henceforth, the van build and why I'm doing this. I'm doing it both for my health. I'm doing it so that way I can live life to its fullest, and I get a chance to take you all around with me as we go across the country when that time comes. So without further ado, let me show you my van build. With the doors open, I've paneled the doors, and behind there I put insulation, and then I put reflectives over top of that for a moisture barrier. For the windows, I've just taken out some insulation, some of that foam polyboard, and I just cut it out for the windows, and I fitted that in there, and that one side is black, as you can see. I spray painted the one side black. All right, so as we go inside, so I built all the cabinets that you see here. Now, there will be some changes, but I'm living in it currently and I am assessing what my needs are. But in the meantime, I did build it, and what I have is I built this cabinet here, and then I have my water jugs down below, and then I have a cabinet over here. I have 3 doors in it here, and they go all the way back. They're pretty deep. I'm not really sure on the color scheme yet, but anyway, it's what I've done, and well, that's just the way it's going to be for right now. And I built these up here so that way I have storage next to my stove, and there's my stove, and I'll be telling you a lot more about that in another video. And up here in the back, I'm not really sure if I'm going to stay with this corrugated steel, but this helps keep the heat from the stove from really affecting the ceiling, which it really doesn't get very hot, but I wanted to make sure that I protected it as best as possible. Down here, I'm going to put a couple false front drawers on the face of this, and then I have a drawer over here. And then down here, I just secure these with rubber bands. I can open it up. I got some clothes down there, my tea kettle, some water. And then over here on the other side, I've got my French press coffee maker. Yeah, I've got a couple of these. Well, that's not dirty, that's just coffee beans. Anyway, I've got these pull-out deals here. And then, if you can see, it goes all the way back to the back. So I have space in the back behind there also. So I have plenty of space in this cabinet, which I really appreciate because space in a van is, well, very critical. So as you can see, as we go along to the other side, I made another one of these. And that's just so I can store spices and whatever else I want to put in there. Okay, now for the walls, I put a 1/2 inch of polyiso up, and then I put another 1/2 inch of polyiso up in between the ribs, which brought everything flush, and then I put the paneling over top of that. I'll put some pictures up to show you what the van looked like before I did all this. And then up on top, I put some crown molding up there, or whatever you want to call it. And I used fabric that I put over top, some plywood, put adhesive on it, and then just tack that up there. I think that looks pretty nice. Okay, well, let's go to the ceiling. I have a fantastic fan, which I have to tell you what, I love having that fantastic fan in here. That comes in so handy in so many different ways. And I will have a separate video on that as well. And for lighting, I put in LED, I put these little puck lights in there. And I gotta be honest with you, you really don't need a whole lot of lights in the van. I mean, these I rarely ever use. I have 3 of them up front and then 1 in the back. And I rarely ever use the 3 up front. And then I also have this one over here, which is this bedside, and it has a switch, and you can turn it on and turn it off right there from bed, which makes it really, really nice, especially at night. Okay, and then around the side, obviously I have a carbon monoxide tester, and I keep that right there where I sleep, because, well, that's really important. Well, let's see, as I pan around here, as you can see, I have a TV up there, and I have that on a swivel arm, so that just swivels back and forth, and it'll actually move out of the way, and it'll go flush up against the cabinet, so when I open that up to the front cab, it'll be completely out of the way. Right now, I have some blankets that cover between the cab and the living quarters, once again, because it is extremely cold here in South Dakota, and I am living in the van, so I need to retain heat as best as possible. And over here with the TV, right next to it, right there, I have my Roku, which is just kind of hanging there for right now, for lack of a better place to put it. And that really comes in handy, whether it be watching YouTube, Netflix, or Hulu, or whatever the case might be. I mean, that works out really nice. And the TV, I got to tell you, having that up on a swing arm was a game changer. It got everything off the floor. Yeah, it just made everything so much more convenient and so much more, I don't know what the word is, tidied up. It was an awesome addition. I highly recommend it. So right now you see the lights are on up here. I have 3 100-watt solar panels from Renogy on top of the van. And over here I have the Renogy Rover 40 amp charge controller that's hooked up right now. And I still haven't even pulled the plastic off of it yet. And I have my monitor that I use. It's a bigger screen monitor for my computer. I really appreciate having something a little bit bigger than my laptop to look at. I have blackout curtains that I can pull across there. It helps keep the cold out and the light out. And I have it on a rod. I have it on a curtain rod up here. Now, I bought one of these cheap ones for like $4 or $5, $5 at Walmart. Don't buy that one, because the first time you pull on it, it bends it and ruins it. So I need to get a bigger, thicker one. If I swing around here, I have a cabinet right here. That's up against the wall here that I built. And in there, I have storage on one side. And on the other side, I have my propane tank. And what I use the propane for is, obviously I use it for my stove. And I got to tell you what, this thing is absolutely amazing. And I will have an extra video that's coming out just covering this stove. This stove, I did a lot of research. This stove is absolutely fantastic, especially with as much cooking as I do. And then down here, I have a Wave 3 heater, and it's covered underneath there. I don't have the cover yet. I have it on order. It's on a swing panel, so it swings out here, and it comes out here, so that way it faces out into the van. And that Camco heater, that thing is absolutely incredible. I'm not going to pull it apart. You all know what a Camco. It's a Camco Wave 3 heater. And I'll show you more of that at a later time. I'll do a video on that one as well. So if we come up here, so what I did here is, once again, on the wall, I have a total 1-inch thick polyiso insulation behind the paneling. And then what I did was I covered it with reflectives on this side of the polyiso. And then I put my paneling up against there. Now, there is a lot of debate about how to insulate your van. I'm not about to get into that, but I will tell you what, the way I have insulated my van, at 25 below zero, I have never had a problem keeping it very warm inside the van. Now up here, I'm going to change this. I built a shelf right up above the bed, which is awesome and definitely gives me extra space. But I am going to be building a bigger shelf. If you go over to Chrome's channel, which I'll link down below, he had someone who built him a cabinetry that just, in my opinion, is like the cat's meow. This is like totally awesome. So I think I'm going to actually probably try to maybe copy that design a little bit, because I really appreciate the amount of space that it added to his van. But anyway, so there is a shelf that I built for it, and it's all attached up to the side. On the back, I have curtains up on the back. I have a curtain rod going across, and that just helps cut down with the cold that's coming through right now. During the summertime, I probably won't have those up there. Now, one thing I've seen was on the Fantastic Fan, I know somebody had mentioned the other day on one of the videos that they lost a lot of heat to their fan. And that is true if you leave it uncovered. But when you're not using the fan, and I mean, after all, you have the fan to use it when you need it. When you don't need it, when it's cold out, I take a piece of insulation and I just cover it up. And that stops the heat loss. And when I need it, all I do is pull down the insulation. Over here, I have my inverter on-off switch. And then I have my light switch. Oop, lights off. And then I have two USB plug-ins right here. And then I have a 12-volt plug-in right there. And then, of course, I have this electrical outlet, which is hooked up to my inverter. And I also have another electrical outlet up there that's hooked up to my inverter. Now, I haven't put in shore power yet, and I plan on doing that just because there, might be some occasions where that might come in handy. And I figure if I have access to shore power, I'd like to be able to use it. So that'll be in an upcoming video that I will show you as I install shore power. I wish I would have documented my build of the van a little bit better so I could have showed you everything that I had done. But nonetheless, I am showing you what I've already done to the van, and I will continue to document everything that I do to it as time goes on. Now, underneath the van, you can see I've got my bed, and I just built a 2x4 platform, and I put a lip on it. And underneath there, I'm going to change this. This is just going to work for right now. I've got a couple drawers underneath here, but I'm going to build a couple permanent drawers that'll work a lot better. Over here, I got little Jack's bed. I got his water in there so don't fall over. And then back behind there, I have storage also as well. Okay, for the ceiling, what I did for insulation there, I used 1-inch polyiso insulation foam board in between the ribs. And then I put a 1/2-inch polyiso over top of that, covering the whole roof. And then I put the paneling up over top of that. So I've got 1.5 inches of polyiso insulation on the roof, which, until summer gets here, at least wise for the winter time, it has worked absolutely awesome. I've had no problems with staying warm in the van. Zero problems heating it up, zero problems keeping it warm. The Olympian Wave 3 heater is just absolutely awesome. I mean, it is like, boy, I don't know if you could get a better heater. I mean, even for the price. I mean, it is absolutely for van life dwelling. It is perfect. I mean, it doesn't seem like it puts out a lot of moisture. I know that's kind of like the biggest concern. So anyway, let me continue showing you my van. So what I have for a bed is I brought a trucker's bed, and it is a 6-inch. Now, okay, so listen to me. I used to drive semi-truck, and in the sleeper, the mattresses that were in the sleeper were probably the most comfortablest beds I have personally ever slept in. So I was thinking about, and I'm looking at all the options about all the different mattresses you can order, and it dawned on me one day, gee, what about the one that you had in your semi-truck? And I'm like, so I started looking. So I found a company, and I'll leave the link down below, and it's called Truck Mattress. And so I bought that, and as you can see, it is a 6-inch mattress, and this thing is like super comfortable. And I mean, it is like, I sleep like a baby in it. And the nice part about it is you can get it in different sizes too. So my bed, top to bottom, is, I believe it's 71 or 72 inches long by 48 inches wide. And I just use regular full-size sheets, and they fit the mattress perfectly. Now, something I wanted to show you here, what I did, and maybe you all have better ideas. So I have the propane tank here, which runs to my Wave 3, Olympian Wave 3 heater, but it also runs to my stove. And I didn't want to drag or put all the wire, the hose underneath there, you know, maybe the dog will chew on it or something else will rub on it. So what I did was I came up with this idea. So what I have got is I took a piece of PVC pipe and I hope you can see that, I ran the hose outside the back, and then I cut a slot all the way down the PVC pipe, and I ran the hose in the PVC pipe. And it goes all along, if you can see it here, goes all along, all the way to the very end, and it comes out in the back there, and then it goes underneath the cabinets and then comes out over here. And I'll show you a little bit more on that. But anyway, I put a PVC pipe there and just ran the hose through it, which keeps it protected, and I don't have to worry about it. I'm going to show you a little bit underneath my bed. So let me get the bed lifted up and I'll show you. Now, I plan on putting hydraulic lifts to be able to lift up my bed so I don't have to go through this every time. So in the very back, in the garage area, I have all the electrical back there, and I've got my inverter right here, and my batteries, they're right there, and they're two 260 amp hour 6-volt AGM batteries from Renogy, and those things are absolutely incredible. As you can see, I've put just plywood down on there. I haven't drilled any holes in it, and I've been in my van every night for the entire winter, and I have not one spot of mold. I have no wetness whatsoever, but there might be a point where I actually drill some holes into the plywood to help give a little bit more circulation. But for the meantime, it's working out really well. Like I said, I've had no mold, which is absolutely great, because everybody talks about, oh, you're going to get mold, you're going to get mold. Well, let me tell you what, I haven't had any mold yet. So, I guess either I'm lucky or something's working out right. I'm not really sure. But anyway, it's been all right. And then as you can see over here, that side lifts up as well. Now, like I said, I'm going to put some shocks on there so that way I can lift it up a little bit easier. But in the meantime, this is what I have. And I just did a simple bed. I built it out of 2x4 frames, and I've got 2x4s going across here. I cut 1.5 over here across the wheel well. And then I put a shelf down in here, which gave me a place to go ahead and mount my inverter. And then the wheel well is right below this shelf, so it's covering that up. I'm gonna go ahead and put this down. Okay, for the floor, as best as I can show you, what I did for the floor is I put down a sheet of 1/2-inch polyiso insulation board, and then over that I put a 5/8 inch thick piece of plywood, and then on top of that I put a vinyl flooring over top. It's just kind of a lock and press and play type deal. And the floor itself, I really like the floor, but I did put carpet on there because in the winter time and when it's cold, that floor is a little cold to step out onto in the morning. And believe me, the carpet makes a big difference. But anyway, I used the vinyl flooring, and that was like super easy to put in, and thus far I'm pretty impressed with it. I actually can't say anything bad about it yet. If anything ever comes up, I will certainly let you know. So let's go around to the garage. Woohoo! This is truly one of the nicer days out here. We have been experiencing some super cold weather. So let's go ahead and we'll open up the garage. Okay, for the garage, don't mind all the dirt. It's been a long winter thus far already. So I got one of those Fantastic Fans Endless Breeze fans. I haven't had a need to use it yet. Back in there I have all my electronics, and I'll cover that in more detail in another video. But for this one, this is just about my van build. And then of course I got my storage area. And then the same way over here, I got storage back in here, as you can see. And there is my beautiful little home on wheels that I am so excited for. You know what? Living in a van is not bad at all. I mean, I don't even notice the fact that it's not a high top, and I don't even know if I'd really want a high top. The thing about a high top is that, yeah, I mean, I suppose it would probably be nice, but most of the time you spend sitting down. So I guess I just never really even realized that it's not a high top. Being a lower top van has been perfect for me. So I don't know if I'll ever get one, but right now I gotta tell you, I really don't notice the difference. All right, so that's it for today. That is my van conversion. If you have any questions, just go ahead and leave them down in the comment section down below, and I'll try to answer them if I have an answer to them, or maybe someone else can help answer that question. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up on this video. That really helps out with the algorithms for YouTube. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button down here in the corner. Oh, it's so cold out here right now. All right, anyway, so I'm going to end this video here. I want to tell you thank you for taking the time to hang out with me today, both me and Jax. It was my pleasure to show you my van conversion. If you have any ideas, go ahead and leave them down below in the comment section. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get out of this cold right now because it is freezing out here. Yeah, that's right. I don't have a coat on. I know. But anyway, so I want you to all have a great day. Keep that smile on your face. Until I see you again, later.